Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at 5.
New for you now at 5. Official charges have now been filed against the man at the center of an over 4-hour manhunt in South Fargo last Friday. 24-year-old Hayden Bollinger is charged with 2 counts of felony terrorizing after allegedly pointing a rifle at his man and his young daughter. Court documents state Bollinger was drinking in his garage when the victim's daughter walked by, and Bollinger kept trying to motion the daughter over to his garage. The victim told officers as he and his daughter were walking away, Bollinger yelled at them and was holding a rifle and cocked it as though he was ready to fire it at the man and his daughter. We have an exclusive interview with the victim. To watch it, you can just head on over to the VNL News app and click on this story. Bollinger is set to be in court again next month. Authorities say 50-year-old Dwayne Turchin is the man who died following a shooting late Friday night in Castleton. The Cass County Sheriff's Department responded to the 100 block of 3rd Avenue South in Castleton just after 9:30 last night. Sheriff's deputies say they found Turchin with a gunshot wound. He was rushed to an area hospital and then later died. Deputies arrested 23-year-old William Dittmer Jr. on charges of felony murder. Authorities say all evidence in this case points to an isolated incident. Officials say Turchin's body is now being transferred to the state medical examiner's office for an autopsy. We're wondering if this is our last day of chilly weather. The sunshine is nice, but we're due for some warmer days. Here's Hutch with a look at our first alert forecast. Hey, Hutch.
Andrea, it does look like another cold night is in store. In fact, sub-freezing temperatures and for some brief stints in the teens. That means a hard freeze. So if you got any plants for Mother's Day, you may want to bring them in. 19 this morning in Langdon, Rolla 18, and it looks like not far from that in Boston and Mahnomen. That was this morning. Clear skies. Cold air over us. It's very dry that cools rapidly. So your planner for Fargo this evening, the weather not too bad, albeit cooler than average. The wind dies down and we'll be freezing by the time we get into the early overnight hours here in Fargo. Grand Forks 46 for your evening, crystal clear skies and temperatures falling like a 2-ton heavy thing. And you'll have details on exactly how low we go. We do have a warming trend to talk about as well. For you spring weather lovers, you'll want to stick around for that.
All right. Thanks, Hutch. State health officials are reporting 27 new cases of COVID-19, along with 1 additional death across North Dakota. It is the 36th death linked to the virus in the state. 24 of those deaths are from COVID-19. 4 are people who died with the virus, and 8 are still pending death records. The state says over 47,000 people have now been tested in North Dakota. At this time, 34 people are currently in the hospital. There are now over 1,500 total cases in the state, while 846 patients have recovered. Meanwhile, in Minnesota, health officials are now confirming 528 new cases of COVID-19 and 13 additional deaths. In total, 591 people have died with the virus. 472 of them lived in a nursing home or assisted living facility. The total COVID-19 count is now at 11,799, an increase of 528 from the day before. 452 people are in the hospital, with 194 of them in the ICU. 7,536 people are listed as recovered. Police are investigating after a fight in Moorhead. Authorities say it happened just before noon today when they responded to a fight in the 1000 block of 18th Street South. Police say one person tried to drive away, and when they did, they crashed into several vehicles. Stick with Valley News Live as we continue to learn more details on this story. One man is hurt, several people are displaced, and a cat is dead following a house fire in South Fargo. It happened around noon when crews responded to the 1200 block of 1st Avenue South. According to the Fargo Fire Department, firefighters found heavy smoke and flames coming from the first floor window. Crews got the fire out in about 10 minutes. We don't yet know how badly the man was hurt. However, he walked out of the house on his own and was taken to a hospital. A man from Candu, North Dakota is now in jail facing charges of endangerment of a minor or vulnerable adult. It happened last Thursday when the Towner County Sheriff's Department served a search warrant at a residence in Candu. The warrant resulted in the arrest of 54-year-old Dana Causer on 4 counts of endangerment of a minor or vulnerable adult. Causer was taken to a correctional center in Rugby, where he's being held on a $20,000 cash-only bond. Causer is also a registered sex offender. The coronavirus pandemic has grounded travel across the world, leaving many people stuck in their homes. People are now starting to wonder when it will be safe to book their next trip. Valley News Team's Callie Hubbard offers some advice.
For many, the thought of escaping to a tropical destination seems like a dream. Troy Radloff and his wife from West Fargo have a Carnival cruise booked for November.
It's an 8-day cruise, so I have a countdown on my phone. It's 187 days exactly. We have a blast on each one of them, so yeah, I can't wait to, if they're going, we're going.
Others, like Travis Funk, are looking to travel at summer's end.
I'll probably make another trip in the end of August, probably to Vegas if they end up kind of slowly opening up here.
So many people are calling us saying it's time that they get something booked, get it on the books because they have something to dream about.
Travel experts say many people seem anxious to travel and are booking vacations right now from November to March of 2021.
How cheap is it to fly now? Is it different than it would normally be price-wise?
You know what? It really depends on what destination you're going to, what date you're going to. The rates are, there's some really good deals out there, but travel insurance is always a great idea because you don't know what happens once you get there.
And make sure you ask your agent whether your insurance covers pandemics.
I think people have to decide on their own. One of the main things to know is that every tour company and the airlines, they're all taking into consideration the COVID and make sure when you are booking to ask what the cancel fees are.
Tayo says she and her staff are giving their clients all the information they need to know to make the right decisions. In Fargo, Callie Hubbard, Valley News Live.
Tayo says the most popular destinations right now are the Caribbean, Mexico, and Hawaii. Some people in the metro are looking at August for a trip to Vegas. Drivers in Moorhead can expect a slower commute due to overnight ramp closures that start tonight. Starting at 9 p.m., crews will close the eastbound lane of the I-94 ramp to 20th Street. The road will reopen around 5 Tuesday morning, and this process will go on until Thursday, May 14th. Crews need to work on the roadway, which includes patching and sealing cracks. The work is being done overnight to minimize traffic impacts in the area.
The system failed me pretty much, you know what I mean? I trusted my kids' lives with these people.
The father of a young girl who died at Spirit Lake Reservation says he wants answers into how his daughter died while under the care of social services. Along with his daughter, his son is at a Fargo hospital fighting for his life. Valley News Team's Joshua Peguero has their exclusive story and the latest from the FBI.
Aaron Thompson Jr. says his 5-year-old daughter was a sweetheart. She was under the care of Spirit Lake Social Services. 2 years ago, they were taken away from him when he was incarcerated.
I don't want this to happen to anybody else, you know? It's the worst feeling ever that anybody can go through.
But his daughter ended up dying while in custody of an agency assigned to protect them, according to the Federal Bureau of Investigations. Thompson, who lives in Fargo, says his 7-year-old son is currently at Sanford Hospital. His son being alive is the only thing preventing him from taking matters into his own hands.
If my son wasn't here in the hospital, that's what probably would have happened. I hate to say it, but I think any father would have done the same thing.
Thompson says he received a call last Wednesday from social services telling him his daughter had died.
After I was done with the grieving process, I tried calling back, and I wanted to know how, and they wouldn't release any information to me. They wouldn't tell me how.
According to the FBI, they are treating this as a death investigation. The agency says it's conducting interviews and following up on leads to determine what happened. The cause and manner of death also remains under investigation.
I wish that they would hurry up and make an arrest because these individuals are still walking around.
Thompson says the bigger issue is Spirit Lake Social Services, where dozens of kids are being mistreated and taken away from parents. He says this should have never happened to his daughter. In Fargo, Joshua Peguero, Valley News Live.
We reached out to Spirit Lake Social Services for comment and did not get a response. Yet another event is canceled for this summer. The North Dakota State Fair in Minot isn't happening. Officials say those who have purchased tickets with credit cards will be refunded. The fair was scheduled for July 17th to the 25th. Still ahead tonight, the pandemic is renewing interest in online voting.
Very chilly weather to start our work week, and more on the way for your Tuesday morning. Hour by hour details in your forecast are next.